Hi there. Welcome to the reflection for the first week in July. What I want to do to begin with is to say a little about myself and then a little about my role as your locum minister, and also hopefully some of my expectations of you uh, as members of the congregation and in the vacancy. So, about myself. I was born in Glencoe, brought up in Ballachulish. And then when I was 11, my parents moved to Larbert in Central Region. I trained as a PE teacher at the Scottish School of Physical Education at Jordan Hill College, and I worked as a PE teacher and guidance teacher in Central Region schools, teaching in Bannockburn High School and in Denny High School. In 1989, I attended selection school for the Ministry for the Church of Scotland, was successful, went to the University of Edinburgh for 3 years to do a BD degree, and then eventually became the Minister of Kirriemuir Old from 1993 to 2017. In 2017, I retired. That seemed to be the right thing to do at the time. And after doing nothing for 6 months, I became locum minister in Brechin Garda Memorial, linked with Farnell. And it's now Brechin and Farnell Parish Church. I worked there from 2018. I went in April 2018 thinking I'd be there for maybe a year. I left in January 2024. And then I became the local minister in Forfar East and Old and Inverarity, joining you in February of 2024. I'm married with 3 sons and 10 grandchildren, and outside family and work, my main interest is Rotary International's Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, and I'll say something about that during the month. But for July, I'm going to be doing your reflections, and I'm really doing so to give the regular team a rest. So, the role of the locum as I see it. I think the role of the locum is to support a congregation through a time of bereavement and loss as your minister leaves, giving you space and support as you adjust. It's my role to encourage the congregation to continue its work. It's my role to encourage you as a congregation to begin to look to the future and ask questions about the kind of minister that you would like to call. It's also my role, I think, to review the existing organisation of the congregation, to lead worship, to conduct baptisms, weddings and funerals, to attend meetings, to support existing structures, to offer pastoral support, and so on. Now, I have to say to you that for the past few months, a main focus of what I've been doing has been the status of Inverarity Church. Inverarity Church was graded a B last year's buildings grading exercise, and that meant there was uncertainty over its future. And I felt, and John Orr felt, the interim moderator, we felt that that uncertainty had to go before we called a new minister. And so I've been working to get the status of the church changed from a B to an A, and we've succeeded. And we're maybe the first church in Scotland to have done that. Also, it's my role to work with John as your interim moderator. The role of the congregation is to keep the faith, to keep the momentum of church life going, to continue to practice the presence of God in the congregation during the week, at home, in your lives, to think about what you can offer the church during the vacancy. And I'm going to give you a practical example to hold on to think about the wild geese and their message for us. We've all seen the skeins of geese that arrive in the autumn and leave in the spring. These magnificent birds teach us a number of lessons. One is that as each bird flaps its wings, it creates uplift for the birds behind. And this means that flying in formation and cooperating with each other, a bird can fly around 70 to 75% further than flying on its own. And if you want to see a similar example of the effects of cooperation, then have a look at the Tour de France and just marvel at how the peloton can gobble up the kilometres between them and the single leader out in front. All of this makes me wonder about the power of the church and underscores that when we work together and when we trust each other and our leaders, then we can achieve so much more. The skein also tells us that when the leading goose gets tired, it drops back into the skein to feel the uplift of the geese in front. And so please don't feel afraid to say, I'm tired and I need a rest. When a goose gets injured and has to land, another 2 or 3 geese land with it to offer support and safety. And then the geese work together to head back toward the skein. And the final lesson is one of encouragement. Sadly, for too many, it's far easier to criticize than to encourage. Flying in the skein, the geese at the back honk their encouragement to those at the front. I commend the lessons from the skein of geese to you, and I remind you that the Celtic Church saw the skein of goose and the wild goose as a symbol of God's Spirit. And so may God's Spirit touch your heart as you fly in your skeins. Folks, I hope you have a good week. Thank you.